Hey, 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 hey. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. How are we doing this morning? Let me hear where you're watching me from. Please just indicate. And as usual, as per custom, let's get warm-ups in the chat room by you posting your favorite emoji this morning, based on how you're feeling, but also how you want to feel. Not only how you are feeling right now, because some of you may be feeling low, but how do you want to feel this morning? That is an emoji I want you to post, because we are tied for 30 minutes. We are going to delve deep into building up from where I picked up last week. I'm talking about power of relationships. In this in last half of the year, now we'll be delving into the last quarter of the year. So you can see that we are actually done. We are actually done with the year. And therefore, what you do now will either set the tone of how 2025 shall be, because most of us, we wait until December to go to work. Oh, Cynthia, it's been long, long, long time. How have you been? Frida, good to have you here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. And for me, Thursday is one of my favorite days. Blessed morning, Tape Mzieche. How are you? Good to have you here. Thank you so much. Please do indicate your favorite emojis. Let's do some dancing. Let's do some laughing. Let's just bring out the hearts based on how you want the day to go. Memory, I see you. Thank you so much for your consistency. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your availability. At least amongst the 10 people that would show up on my show, I know that memory will be there. And if memory is not there, I know that could be sick or in a meeting. So that is really a good picture to have of a mentee. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Lungile, how are you? Good to see you. I'm going to talk to you off camera just to check on what is happening with the death of your brother who was found dead. It is really, really sad, but we thank God for the life that God has given to us. All right, because 30 minutes flies out like like 3 minutes, like 2 minutes. Let us immediately get into it. And so we were last week, we were talking about, carrying your cross with regards to different relationships that I was describing. So now I want to itemize each relationship and really talk about how you can leverage into that relationship. So before I go there, as a team in Project Life Design, from yesterday, we are doing some cleanup in the WhatsApp groups, because there are people who are dead woods, like dead woods. Every time you want to give them fire, and the moment the fire comes on because of their negative energy, they put water onto the woods and you go back to zero because there is zero energy. So we began by challenging ourselves to make a post about services or products, whatever it is that you're doing on LinkedIn, because we are big when it comes to our professional space, which is the LinkedIn, page, to ensure that you are active there. So we are challenging one another to know, one another, to add value to one another. So we were posting. So it is actually something that is going to continue up to today, because as a mentor, I would like to catch those that are dead wood so that they can make a decision either to exit or stay. And if they are choosing to stay, they better really join the fire for us to really keep burning together. So that brings me into this particular first relationship. So for those who were not around last week, I was talking about 3 cardinal relationships you are supposed to carry each day of your life. You need to ensure that these relationships are really, really happening and you are feeding into them. And also, because when you're feeding into these relationships, you can actually extract out of them. So the first relationship is the people that you look up to. So I gave an analogy about the cross, that everywhere you go, you must carry the cross. And the first piece of the cross, it is where the head of the person who is sleeping on the cross leans, just as an analogy. In other words, to mean that people that are in this short piece, they are speaking more into your brain. They are speaking more into bringing wisdom to you so that you can make decisions, from the informed, place where you are informed, you are resourceful, you are not just on impulse making permanent decisions that tomorrow you may end up regretting. So it is important, and I really, really want to emphasize these relationships for you to differentiate. It is important for you to know that if you've got a mentor or somebody that you're looking up to, and you don't, communicate, like you will take 3 months and you haven't slipped into their inbox, just know that relationship has become stale. Okay, just know that relationship is stale, because if you have people that you are looking up to, I think in a quarter you should make an effort to slip in, just to, maybe it's a greeting, maybe there is nothing much that is going on, but you've got to, at individual level, to develop your own reporting system. Because remember, in this relationship, like I indicated last week, that in this relationship, initiation of conversation, initiation of the connection and that interaction comes more from a mentee, comes more from you, the individual who wants to glean out of this particular person that you have called your leader. So this person can be your leader in your marriage, can be your leader in your business, your career, can be your leader in, about your life in general. So that if you have placed and you have itemized, listen, this particular relationship should be real. It's not a wish. You are not wishing for the person to be your mentor. You have actually had a conversation. You have actually told them. You've actually had a conversation. You've had a meeting. You've sat and you have talked that you are being mentored by them. And therefore, if they are mentoring you, it means that the sustenance of this relationship, as much as even the mentor should be able to, reach out and really check on what you're doing, you who needs to grow, remember, it is speaking into your growth. This particular relationship is speaking into your greatness. It is speaking into your future. So you have to take it seriously. You need to know that where your life is, be it financially, maybe in your marital life, whatever is happening, if it is, going south, or it's not really taking place, I can assure you, listen, this is an important point. I can assure you, we can trace it back to the person you refuse to honor. I'll repeat. Looking at your life right now and whatever is going on, if it is negative, whatever you are going through is actually negative. If we go back and interrogate you, we can trace it back to the person you refuse to honor. Who did you refuse to honor? You did not acknowledge their place. You did not acknowledge their voice. You did not acknowledge their position. Let me break it down further. Okay. In this particular position, one of the people that sit in this place is your husband. For those who are married, for those who are about to get married, I need you to know, if you are single, sit back and relax and listen to what I'm saying. One of the individuals that sit in this particular place, according to the principles of the Bible, because that is where I draw the principles I talk about. One of the principles is the honor and respect you need to give to your spouse, called your husband. Okay? It is a principle. As much as you equal in terms of reaching out to your goals, reaching out to God at spirit level. The moment you say I do and you get married, there is a way you need to give honor to this particular individual called your husband. Some of the things going on right now in your marriage, we cannot separate the day you chose not to respect that person. Whatever is going on right now, if we can be truthful enough, we can trace back, we can go back into the memory lane, and we will find the place or the time that positionally you stopped honoring this person. Because it is not about what you say to them, though later what you say shows where you've placed them. It is the posture, it is the way you are positioned that actually has led a shift in the way blessings are supposed to drop to you. Because this person, whether they are drunkards, whether they are manizing, whatever is going on, the Bible is very, very clear. You need to place honor on this particular person. And so, moving away from the home environment, let me bring a mentor that is looking after your life in general. They are principles that rule around this particular relationship. Okay. The issue of transparent communication. Do you know the reason why your mentor is not being so effective in your life? You are not fully transparent. You are not telling them the real truth. You are not sharing with them your place, what is going on. This is why they will mentor you with half your truth, up to your availability, up to your presence at that particular moment. So if you begin to diminish your presence and you are not really open minded in their space, I really don't know about you. For me, when I've decided to sit under mentorship, I am very clear when it comes to this particular relationship. I think most of you can attest to it. The place of mentorship is a place of my vulnerability. The place of mentorship is a place of just me emptying my bucket, emptying myself, and just staying real. Because every day, I have to keep up appearance to all people that are coming to draw out of me. I have to keep up. I have to be strong. I've got to stay strong for so many people. Now, life, you cannot always be strong. You can't. There has to be a moment. There has to be people where you can just lay down your books and just say, look, I'm not feeling like it. I feel like giving up. This is not happening. A place where you can even shed tears. But then the problem that you may have these people called your mentors, but you are not transparent. You are not vulnerable. You are not present. You can show up physically, but you are not present emotionally. One day, my mentor told me, how long is your rope? And how deep is your bucket? You don't want to show too much, being macho and, having it all in place. How long is the passion? How long the rope? It is the passion you have to change your future in this particular relationship. How deep is your bucket? Is the depth of your yearning? Your insatiable appetite for knowledge, insatiable appetite for wisdom, seeking to know more in every department of your life. I'll be turning 31 in marriage on the 4th of September. How has it been for the past 26 years? Because most of you, I've told you the 5 years and the struggle that I had in marriage for the first 5 years. But how blissful has been the 26 years? How have I maneuvered and how have I managed to stay afloat, not to go into adultery, not to be flirting with other men on the phone, not to, how have I managed to be stuck with one man? What has made me to be, at least I know, a successful mother? You can tell the way my children, and this not only my effort, my husband has played a major role, like a major role. What would cause a man to be so present in his children's lives? I have principles, listen to me. I have principles that most people do not actually know. You know about me, you don't know me. Most of those that are in my life, they know about me because all they see are the beautiful posts on Facebook, my travels and everything. Oh, Dr. Nellie, you do not know me. You do not know me because your rope is too short. And because your rope is too short, it doesn't enter into the depth of the bucket. How deep is your bucket for you to draw out of my life? So many people, they know the yard. You have been, in the yard of my life by the gate, and you've seen the flowers and you've seen the beautiful walls of my building. But have you drawn? Have you gotten the prophetic inclination? Have you gotten the depth of the relationship I have with God? Have you understood what sustains me? Those are things I'm talking about. And the reason why I am actually really getting it more personally on me, because most of you, the majority on the call, are sitting under my mentorship program. And so this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. But if you sit under Rev Waters' program, you sit under Dr. Sunshine's program, how well are you relating with them? It explains where your life is. So the issue of denying self and carrying your cross is cardinal when you are dealing with this particular piece of your life. Mentorship. Mentorship. There is a way in which the life of that individual begins to influence you. Mentorship is about experience coming onto you, the skill that that person has coming onto you, the way they live their life. Like Paul would say, imitate me as I imitate Christ. That is true mentorship because he stands there as a billboard. He stands there as a sign to success, how he lived his life. So when he is standing as a billboard and saying, imitate me as I imitate Christ, what are we imitating? What is it that we can learn from Paul's life? Those are things you need to start gleaning out of a mentor you have chosen. Is it a business mentor? How do they spend their finances? Have you been in their place? When they go to the shop, how are they spending? How do they invest? Do you really understand how they started their business? Or are you just interested with the profits they are making and the businesses that they have? Have you understood their story? How long is your rope and how deep is your bucket? It is in the length of your rope where you will actually get to draw in the depth of their hearts. Many people can enter the sitting room of my house. They don't know the bedroom of my house. They don't know the toilets of my house. They don't know what is in the kitchen. So you can be in a relationship with a mentor and you haven't actually drawn much. Or what you're doing because your rope is short. Your passion to learn from their lives is short because some of you may have just admired, my speaking. Okay, so I stand and I can talk off the cuff and say, oh, wow, she's my mentor, she's my mentor, she's my mentor. My friend, do you know the challenges I used to have in speaking? Do you know what makes me come to the office at 7 a.m.? Do you know what sustains my life? Do you know how? How I have left my house? How have I left my house? As I left that particular house by 6:05, I left my house? Do you know how I left the place called my bedroom? Those are things I'm talking about, because when it comes to mentorship, my friend, you can choose to be mentored superficially. You can choose at superficial level. Your mentor will mentor you at superficial level. But as a mentor, there are people I want to enter their bedroom. And when I say entering the bedroom, not necessarily physically, but really engaging with you to show you what has made me turn 31 in marriage successfully so. For me, it is not about posting on social media and saying, oh, the king of my castle, oh, the man who what. It's not about that. It is reality. It is reality. When I listened to Josh's, tribute, you know why I shed tears? I shed tears because I then realized that how I live my life at home. Because imagine how I can influence and impact the whole world and not impact my own children. If there are people who have to say the truth about an individual, it is a spouse, children, helper. These are the people who can tell the correct, the correct personality of an individual and who they are. Because at home, you can't pretend. I can't pretend that I'm prayerful to my husband. I can't pretend because I am at home with him. I am in the bedroom with him. So when do I pray? So I can't pretend. I can pretend with you or to you. I can pretend that I'm prayerful because you are not there. But I can't pretend with my children because they're at home with me. If I am a good person, I can't pretend when it comes to a helper. You can go and squeeze life out of my helper. For my helper to tell you who I am, torture her to change her statement if she's lying. Now, that life, that life, you need to have a long rope to really get to understand how your life can be the same in the marketplace, how your life can be the same in the family. You need a long rope. This thing that, oh, and we show up, PLD, I'm part of PLD, my friend. Do you know what it means to be part of this particular organization? Do you understand the vision in this organization? I'm a time freak. When it comes to commitment, if you want to change my name to commitment, change my name to consistency. Those are things, not one moment I'm not feeling it, the other moment you are feeling it. I don't work like that. When I have committed myself, when I've told you I am part of this, when I've told you this is what I'll do, I keep to my word. I keep to my word. Ask any mentor I have sat under. Ask any mentor I've sat under. We were having a conversation with my editor. My editor has gone crazy, Sydney Cassandra. He has gone crazy because now the books that he's editing, he finished, we launched, The Awakening by Eve Bandan. He edited that book. He's editing, other books. You'll hear them, those that haven't yet come. He's editing, it's gone crazy. Now, one of the books that he's editing is The Professional Code by guess who? Dr. Akanimo Order. You have read the graduate code. My friend, you are about to read the professional code. You won't be the same. My editor, as he has been editing the professional code, he applied each and every line he was editing and put it into practice. You don't want to know what has happened to him. Most of the people's books he's editing now, the high profile, has been birthed by the application of the lessons. He cleaned up his LinkedIn and applied the principles that were spoken around. He applied partnerships, volunteering. He began to apply each and every statement of the author as an editor. My friend, you are talking about mentorship. You know what mentorship is. You know what this piece means. You know what this piece means. Me, I have told you, I have read the graduate code 12 times. When I saw this guy, I saw the book he wrote. I ate the book. I have eaten the book. I've told you before. I know the book more than the author. To the extent that he has asked me to do the foreword for the professional, because I'm a living legend. I'm a living testimony of what it means to sit under mentorship in a particular topic, in a particular area. I follow. I'm not invited. I check out. What is he doing? Where is he speaking? What is happening? And I glean. I suck out the blood out of the mentor. I am present. I show up. I give my whole. Talk of being trustworthy. I'm saying here, this is a public platform. Okay, this is a public platform. I am saying this because one day he will listen to this. He will tell you there are things he doesn't even know where to find them. When he's in a meeting, he will call me. He will send a message. This document, it's well saved. Gone. How about this? Go. Because I have sit under mentorship and I've understood my leader. I have understood what my leader needs. Mentorship, you have to be encouraged to be mentored. You have to be forced to be mentored. You have to be, I beg you, I want to grow your brand. I beg you, I need you. I have 20 people. All I'm begging is for you to do a post so that these 20 people can like your post and connect to you so that, we can grow the numbers. I have to beg you. Even when I am begging you, you still do not make the post at mentorship. It shows where your life is for some of you. And I can predict your future. I may not have to be prophetic. I can predict your future by how you relate with your mentor. I can predict your future by how long your rope is, how passionate you are when it comes to your brand. I can predict your future by how deep your bucket is. I can predict your future. I know how 2026 will be, 2025 will be. I can show you by your behavior each day. I can show you. So what am I saying? We have few months to go before the year ends. You literally have to be big your own life to keep healthy. Just for you to join once in a week, to join, to jump your heart out so you can be a better spouse to your husband or your wife, to remove fatigue. Oh, I get so tired easily. Where do you get the strength from? Where I get my strength from? Look at my day. Look at how I spend my body. Look at my eating habits. This is hibiscus. There is no sugar here. I mind what I ingest. I mind. You can ask people in the office. I don't just junk my body with coffee, with what. No, I am mindful about 60 years. I'm mindful about 65 years. My friend, you are under mentorship. You busy eating chips, Hungry Lion, KFC, pizza, what? Huh? Who's mentoring you? Who is mentoring you and they eat like that? I'm talking to those at least that I'm mentoring. Because if I'm mentoring you, you must watch my eating habits. You must watch the way I exercise. You must watch how I relate with my mentors. That is mentorship, my friend. So I look at certain people and I'm like, me, your mentor, my friend. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm your mentor because life has to be duplicated. The disciples, when they began to execute their assignment, Jesus, when he began to do the business of his father, He said, what my father, I can only do what I see my father do. That is what I'm talking about. So we have a journey, and I'm not giving up on anybody. We can always restart. We can always go to the drawing board and begin, because my aim is to get as many people as possible to the next, space of life. So we are going to have Real Woman Summit, the first Real Woman Summit. So we are growing in Malawi on the 21st of September. Who is coming along with me? Are you in Malawi? Let us meet physically. When we are done with also the launch of the book, we are moving to Zimbabwe. On the 5th of October, we are going to have the first Real Woman Summit in Zimbabwe and launch the amazing book that is selling like no man's business. We are having more prints, 5,000 prints. I think they are done now. When we are done, we are moving 19th of October. We are going to be in Namibia. They are begging me in Botswana. I've got only one weekend, which is in December, I think, 7th or something. We may actually, because they are begging me for us to do the Real Woman Summit in Botswana. So, in short, what I'm saying is we are growing, we are expanding. Can you come to the party? Can we grow together? Can we move together and prepare next year in March to go to New York together? Our preparations have started, enroll in the UN preparatory, group. You join, start being prepared, because October the portal for the UN opens for us to start registrations. All right, so do have an amazing Thursday. Shalom, shalom. I love you all. Bye bye.